What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here, and in today's video I wanted to do a deep dive and review on the Ngrave Graphene metal recovery seed backup for your crypto. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. All right, guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I wanted to do a quick overview of what's called the Master Graphene. It's a metal recovery seed backup by Ngrave, which is a brand new premium and high-end hardware wallet. Now, we're going to discuss obviously what makes this different than any other recovery seed backup phrase and why it's so unique. But before I jump into the content, I just want to give a shout out to my newly designed website, as you can see on the screen here, bitcoinlockup.com. It's exclusive content that's only going to be there, not on YouTube or any other platform, so make sure to check it out, and let's dive in. All right, guys, so here we're gonna take a look at the graphene. We're gonna take a look at what makes it different than any other metal recovery seed backup. We're also gonna take a look, obviously, at the structure, and we're also gonna look at the price and how you can get your hand on one of these. So first things first, this comes in the box when I got my Ngrave Zero purchase, and it got delivered, which I will link above if you wanna see the Ngrave Zero review and unboxing video. But the Master Graphene came as part of my bundle, as this is intended and designed to be linked with the Ngrave Zero. Now, technically, you can buy this as a standalone product, which I'll explain near the end of the video, but ultimately this is designed with a three-tiered system with the Ngrave Zero in mind. With that said, this is what they are calling the Master Graphene, and I'm going to explain why it's unique and why they've really thought of everything, to be honest with you. So obviously they give you a card here that sort of explains how to set it up, and they have what they call a perfect key, which is essentially a private key. So your private key is obviously what unlocks your crypto and allows you to have possession and custody of your own crypto. Without the private key, you have nothing. With that said, you ultimately want to have a good backup. Most hardware wallet providers and most hardware wallet companies do only give you a piece of paper in the box, and you can write down your 24-word seed recovery phrase on that piece of paper, and you can use that to restore your wallet on a different crypto wallet in the event that your hardware wallet breaks, it doesn't turn on anymore, the company goes out of business, whatever the situation, otherwise unusable. That's what these metal recovery seed backups are for. So I'm going to point out some of the the key features here and kind of what all this is and why it matters. So what we have here is called the Ngrave Graphene. Now this is made with 316 grade stainless steel versus most other providers are 304 grade stainless steel. So what's the difference between 316 and 304? They're all high quality. They both handle fire resistance very well. They both handle shock resistance very well. They handle rust resistance very well. So if this is ever in a flood, if it's ever in a fire, it's not going to be corrupted or rusted, and you'll be able to always recover your private key. But to the point of 316 grade, it's more resistant specifically to oils, corrosion, acid, and other elements that potentially could dissolve or disintegrate under extreme pressure and extreme circumstances. So this is more tailored for, natural oils, gasoline, things of that nature, things that are liquid, that are flammable, as well as corrosion and acid and other sort of chemicals, we'll call them. This is more resistant towards that as a 316 grade stainless steel versus a 304, which is really targeted towards water resistance and fire resistance. So just wanted to point that out. Now, this here is a two-tiered system. As you can see, these are two different plates. Now, the way that this is set up, and you can see, of course, Ngrave is on the back here, but as you can see, this plate is designed to translate or transcode your private key as a 64-character hexadecimal private key. That 64-character hexadecimal private key can be translated, of course, and derived into a 24-word recovery seed phrase. which is very common with the BIP39 standard. So basically, it may be difficult to see on this video, but basically here you have a certain row with letters and numbers, and based on your 64-word phrase, you can follow the instructions on this card here to essentially pinpoint, literally, with this puncture tool. You can then puncture each corresponding letter and number, and it will go essentially left to right. Now, some of the common questions that I know people are going to have is, well, if I keep them separate, which is designed to do, you keep your main plate in one location, you keep this plate in another location, and if you just see a bunch of random punctures on this plate, you're not going to be able to decode it. It's essentially worthless unless you have the top plate to translate it. Now, what's really interesting here is, one, this is a sort of a multi-tier, multi-factor authentication, so you can put these in two different places. But I know I'm going to get the question is, what happens if I lose the translation plate or the top plate here? Or what if somebody just goes online on the Ngrave website and buys one of these plates and they find this one and they could simply just steal my crypto and decode it that way? Well, they've gotten really unique here. And you may or may not be able to see, but in the bottom right corner here, there is a 8-character custom plate code. Now, you will, in the event that you do lose this top, this is not universal, meaning you can't just buy any random decoder plate from another website or from anyone outside of Ngrave and decode that private key. This has a unique specific code where they only have a certain number of backups at the Ngrave website. You'll obviously want to write down or protect this 8-digit code of letters and numbers because it's unique to your private key or unique to your particular metal device. And they have exact replicas. So all of them are unique, all of them are scattered. So if you buy one graphene and you want to use it with a second Ngrave 0, these two plates are not going to be identical in terms of how they translate and how they transcode. So that's very unique. They've really thought of every sort of attack vector, every sort of way to sort of game the system. And obviously you want to store these separately, maybe one in one safe, one in a different location. And you obviously will need both plates in order to read or transcode your private key in the event that your hardware wallet or Ngrave 0, again, doesn't, something happens to it. It breaks, doesn't turn on, something happens. So just keep that in mind that this is extremely unique. So you can also break this up as sort of a Shamir backup if that's something that you want to get very technical on, and that's just a way to break up batches of your private key and then separate them. So in theory, you could buy, 3 of these graphene plates and then break up your private key into 3 separate locations to make it even more secure and even more difficult for someone to sort of hack your crypto private key, which is ultimately what this is all about. It's about protecting and keeping your private keys offline and keeping them cold. So this is a very unique product. As you can see, I wanted to do kind of a demonstration video and explain this before I actually use my own private key. But let's talk about the price, since I've talked about some of the main security features and what makes this different. Now, again, I will try to do some other comparison videos with some of the other, either the Crypto Steel capsule or the, like Billfodl or Keystone tablet or others that use the first 4 letters of your recovery seed phrase. Obviously, this is different. This is higher end. And in my opinion, this is the most secure metal recovery seed backup that I've ever seen. And I can't wait to actually use it. I just wanted to do a demonstration, explain what makes this different versus other metal recovery seed backups. So let's go ahead and end here on the price. So again, this is intended to be used with the Ngrave 0, but is compatible with all BIP39 recovery seed phrase private keys. It's a format that is adopted widely with most crypto wallets, whether it's hardware or software. But again, that is a universal standard, the BIP39. So this technically will work with any BIP39 compatible wallet. But again, this is specifically designed as a 3-tier system for the Ngrave 0, the Graphene, and the Liquid. With that said, the price of this as a standalone product, when it will become available as a standalone product in Q1 of 2022, is 148 euros. Now, best deals, any discounts, promos, anything like that, we'll have a link in the description for you to check it out for the graphene specifically. And there are discounts if you do want to separate it and get multi-graphenes. So if you want to separate your private key into 3 different plates or 2 different plates, if you want to go crazy, which is something I probably want to do, it's not required. But obviously, if you want to make it more secure, you have a way to sort of decentralize your recovery seed plate. And there will be discounts for combos and buying multiple sheets. But again, the quality is extremely high, very durable, 316 grade stainless steel versus the 304. I think they've made some real innovations and they've made some real advances to the way we look at recovery seed backups. And if you care about keeping your crypto cold and keeping your crypto offline, this is certainly a contender to take a look at. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this device specifically, let me know down in the comments. I will do my best to answer it for you. And then go ahead and click in the top right corner here to see my full unboxing review on the Ngrave Zero. I will see you guys in that video now. Crypto Renegade out.